Tuesday, June 1st. Welcome to June. So we are entering into a very wild month. Again, we're coming into the beginning of this brand new month in retrograde season. We have Pluto and Saturn and Mercury all in a retrograde. We have some exciting things coming up, adding to more planets going retrograde this month. We are deep in eclipse season. We are still kind of in this weird adjustment place, and we have a lot of things coming to us, both good and bad. And I hate to even use the word bad because nothing is bad. Nothing is against us. Everything, even the bad parts, are divinely scripted for us, for our growth, for our evolution. But nonetheless, we're going to have some ups and downs. So just a disclaimer, we're moving into June, which is the 6th month. And numerologically speaking, number 6 is about new systems, new structures, a new perspective in our mental health, making more time to sort things out, to reorganize things, to restructure things, to make sure that we are giving to ourselves before giving all of our energy away to other people. This is about being of service to ourselves while being of service to other people. This is a huge recalibration type of energy, and with everything else going on the cosmos, this is going to align us perfectly with the kinds of revelations that we need to have over this next month to be where it is that we need to be in order to launch into new timelines and new soul contracts. So the moon is going to be in Aquarius. It is going to be transitioning into Pisces. This is going to be a little bit more of an emotional dive for a couple of reasons. First of all, we have the moon making 5 different aspects. And while still in Aquarian energy, the moon wants to have one last talk with Venus. He's going to be trining Venus. This is Venus's last day in Gemini. This is the last day that she is really debating a lot of things and facing her choices and facing her decisions and sorting through information and trying to communicate her heartfelt wants, needs, and desires. So the moon has this conversation with Venus and kind of gives her a pep talk and says, okay, listen, yeah, you have a lot on your plate, but you're too connected right now. You can't see the forest past the trees. You have to elevate. You have to act as the observer. You have to open your mind. You have to listen to your inner truth. You have to listen to your intuition because you have all of the answers inside of you. And then just as that conversation gets wrapped up, the moon transitions into Pisces. Now, Pisces is a water energy. It's the last sign of the zodiac. It's where we go to wrap things up, where it is we go to provide ourselves with a little bit of closure. It is where everything becomes connected and where it is that we see how interconnected everything is, and yet we are detached at the same time. Now, this can be overwhelming for a couple of reasons, but mostly because Piscean energy is the escape artist of the zodiac. It doesn't want to deal with reality, especially when reality is heavy and complicated and conflicting. We don't want to deal with it. We just want to check out. We want to, just escape into dreamland, into imaginary land where it's safe, where we can create, boundaries for ourselves to live by that don't feel conflicting, because Lord knows our realities are hella confusing and hella complex and very intricate right now and very overwhelming. And so the moon now in Pisces makes an aspect with Jupiter fresh into Pisces, who's really forcing us to reconnect with our spiritual self, with our intuition, with our higher belief system. And of course, that requires us to shut out the outside world. This is going to give us a blast, an emotional blast of joy, of positivity, of hope, of optimism. And Lord knows we need it. This particular aspect, because Jupiter's involved, wants us to grow past our current situations. And we do so by having a different perspective, especially a different emotional perspective. And how do we do that? We reconnect with our higher selves. The moon is also going to be making an aspect with Mars. And again, very hypersensitive Mars is sitting in Cancer, another sister water sign. That Cancer and energy just wants us to just feel safe and feel secure. And right now, we don't have the physical environment providing us with that safety and security, especially emotionally. And this is going to trigger a lot of things for us. We are hypersensitive. We are picking up on subtle energies of our environment. We are overwhelmed with the light codes and the information coming in from the cosmos. And we're also overwhelmed with all of the drama that seems to be happening in the home and in the family dynamic. So, like I said, Venus, this is her last day in Gemini. And Venus has one last meeting with Saturn, who, of course, is the Lord of Karma. And Saturn is retrograde in Aquarius, making us look inwards on where it is that maybe we need to bust free of some of the restricting beliefs, restricting perspectives. Again, this is a huge topic and theme of attachment, and where it is that maybe we've been feeling suffocated by the roles and responsibilities in our lives, especially in our personal relationships. Now, money matters are coming up for Venus as well. She's been making a lot of decisions on whether or not she wants to stay where she's at, currently receiving the amount of money that she's making for her skills and talents, or whether or not she wants to bust free of that and jump into a brand new environment. Again, Venus's time in Gemini has been overwhelming. She's thinking about everything. She has one foot stuck in the past, one foot stuck in the future, and she doesn't really connect with what's going on here in the present moment right now. She has too many things on her plate. She has too many decisions, too many choices to make, and everything, all the information, all the details, all the perspectives coming in are very overwhelming and very consuming. So Saturn tries to give her a little bit of a pep talk to make her go inward, to make her quiet the mind so she can listen to the heart space, to recognize where it is that she's been feeling held back and frustrated and restricted, especially by the people in her life, because again, this is about the energy exchange and taking our power back. And she's going to have a lot to think about, especially moving into Cancer, which is going to bring a totally different vibe and a totally different perspective to some of the things that she currently has on her plate to contemplate and make decisions about. And to end this very first day in June, the Sun will be making an aspect with Pluto. So the Sun in Gemini wants information, wants to ask questions, wants to dabble in the ifs, ands, and buts, wants to close the gap between the heart and the head, wants to find a center point in between the two extreme ways of thinking, the two extreme choices, the two extreme decisions. Really, we need to look inwards. Pluto is retrograde. Pluto wants us to move inwards to see where our fears are, our insecurities are, where it is that we've given our power away, especially in relationships, where it is that we need to put a certain death to the version of ourselves that felt like it was okay to be the co-star in the movie that is us when we were meant to be the star all along. So there is going to be a huge, intense, emotional illumination on where it is that we're about to boss up internally first, externally second, but where it is that we're making some dramatic changes in our ways of thinking that will no doubt reverberate not only in our internal processing, but eventually be creeping out in the physical manifestations that we're aligning with in our physical realms.